so I guess we'll get started. There's not many more seats, but you can try sitting in the corner in the middle. So we're moving from tools and languages into science now. So we have two science game projects that we're talking about. And I'll leave the floor to Raphaël.
Hello everybody, I'm Raphaël. I'm going to present you today this game that I've been working on, which is called Hero.Coli. It's a game with which you can learn biology. So, you can see that it's been funded by lots of people and most notably Europe and French university. Alright. So let's start with the demo. Okay. So demo is here. Okay, so of course, yeah, resolution is not good at all. But okay, we play a cropped version, but online it's way better. It's not mine. Okay. So it's a game with a story. Let's not care about the story, let's just play. So in the game you're a bacterium. Actually the screen is usually until here and here, so okay, so you're a bacterium that you can control with the keyboard. I'm an E.Coli, bacterium that can be found in the intestine. Okay, you can click also. And as it's a game, you have some game elements. So here it's a checkpoint, and it's symbolized by this cell division. So when my cell dies, I will start again from this last sister cell. Okay, so I go around, I explore, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Right, going around, stuff. Oh, yay! Whoa! What if I pick it up? I pick it up. Okay, oh, nice. Okay, so I have a drawing here. So it's like in an RPG. Actually, I pick up something, I equip it by clicking on it. There's information, but it's not compulsory to read. Then I click here, and this gave me a second tail. Okay, second flagellum for my bacterium. So now I'm faster, right? So the game starts. You start to discover that the gene gives you some abilities. And later on in the game, I won't spoil the rest. You can go online and play it. Later on in the game, you found out that these genes can be edited. So, okay, I'm in a sandbox now to demonstrate you this gene edition stuff. Okay, so button is right here. Well, the interface is completely messed up. Right. This would be really difficult. Okay. So, yeah, it's completely impossible actually. It's out of the screen.
It's on Unity?
Yeah, it's Unity game. With what?
Command less.
That's what I'm doing. Right?
On the browser.
Scroller. Oh yeah. You're the best.
It's a bit better.
Save me. Okay, it's just, I don't know.
Oh, maybe it's fucked up now.
Yeah.
That
is stronger. Awesome. Yeah, Timo effect. Okay, so trust me, this game is awesome. So I will go back to the presentation. Anyways, you can go online and check it out by yourself. Okay, so what I wanted to tell you that there are 3 levels of learning in this game. First, you find genetic devices, you equip them, like in RPGs, you gain a new ability, so you can go faster, you can be resistant to antibiotics, you can become green fluorescent, etc. Then there is a second stage in which you can modify the genes, so it's like crafting, so like in Minecraft, etc. And then there is a third level of learning in which you see that these genetic devices can interact. So you can even have some bacteria that blink. And that's something that really exists in nature and in labs. Something that can be done. Okay, so the presentation. So that's something that you could have seen, but okay, demo effect. So later in the game, you have a bacterium that can be faster and that can be green. You can craft new genetic devices. All right. So the design principle that I put in this game were very simple. So first I wanted a real game, so not a gamified tool or something that's not fun and that nobody wants. Okay. Then I wanted it to be really fun, entertaining, something that you can be involved in. A real story, some gorgeous art, something that's hard, demanding, so you have to be concentrated, so not something that you play in the subway. You know what I'm talking about. And then the sandbox, so you can mess around with the game and discover new things. On the learning side, I wanted it to be accurate on the science. So there's a real simulator behind that computes what the genetic devices do. There is what is called stealth learning, is that you learn just by playing. You're not taught something, you're not being taught. You explore, you understand, and then you learn by yourself. You learn by analyzing and trying, and there's also some feedbacks and tutorials. So for example, when you click, there is this little glowy stuff to show you where you're going. So why am I here? It's because as it's funded by public research and public funding, it's free online, it's open source on GitHub. I use Unity, which is not completely open source, right? But anyway, the source code is in GitHub. I use open source DNA sequences, so the DNA sequences that are used in the game are real. They can be found on the internet. They are stored by the BioBricks Foundation. And finally, I use analytics that Jesse Himmelstein right here talked about this morning. If you weren't here, it's called Redwire. It's open source tracking, but also open data, so you can find the data about Hero.Coli on the internet. All right, and it's also, I also use open source Python scripts to extract data from red metrics and make some graphs from it. Okay, so this project, lots of people that work on it. I'm the last one. Okay, they're not dead, but they're working on it. We've participated in lots of events from FOSDEM 2014 to China, USA, UK, etc. But why? Why? You have this video game, it's on synthetic biology, it's funded by public institutions. What the hell? What am I doing here? All right. So, involvement of public institutions? Not really. Actually, Jesse and I, and Morgen, come from the CRI, so Centre for Research and Interdisciplinarity in Paris, which is a kind of special place. I am a PhD student over there, and this game is my work as a PhD student. And this center focuses on education and biotechnologies, and is based on the fact that today's education is not working well. Before being obedient was enough, today is not enough. We want people to be able to lead their career. So this center works on technological solutions. But we know that there is no silver bullet. There is no real solution for that. You can watch this video, it explains very clearly. We said, oh, the movies are going to help people learn, the radio, etc., but it never happens. Never. Right. What's important is to search for experiences that promote the kind of thinking required for learning. That's how you can sum up this entire video. So this kind of answers the question, why video games? Because you know that. This guy, Thomas Rawlings, came to our center and he gave us a talk and he said, how could I learn entire RPG rulebooks but not math? You know that. You learn lots of things with games. So self-learning, about which I talked just at the beginning, seems a good solution. You learn without being taught, you learn through game mechanics or content. So for instance, you know Kerbal Space Program, I guess. Right? You learn about astrophysics. There are games that teach math to children, but they don't even know they're learning math. They start by manipulating nice animals, and then after 25 minutes, some symbols appear. Then a bit later, some more, and after 4 hours, they are 5. At 5 years old, you can master that. It's possible. There are videos on the internet. And maybe you have played these 3 games. You've learned about Rome, about World War II, Japan, etc. So you know it's possible. So maybe there's no silver bullet, but video games are kind of a good way to go there. Because games have lots of qualities. The major ones are the fact that there is access to huge content. You can try and fail, but then succeed. There is no judgment, and you can be creative in games. And there are even people that say there is such a thing as silver bullet for education. This guy is called CGP Grey. You can watch his video, and he's sure that adaptive learning could be a way to solve this education crisis, right? But there are still some pitfalls to avoid. So if you do a fun game that's non-educational, you put bad ideas in people's minds. So for example, Spore is a disaster for biological education. On the other hand, there are some educational games that are completely boring and have no audience at all, because people are bored. So you have to find a good equilibrium, all right? So it's a promising field. And finally, why synthetic biology? why a game on synthetic biology? First, because my center works on synthetic biology, of course, but because everybody is biologic, so you should be concerned at least about this. Biology is awesome. I mean, this is in you right now. DNA replication, so lots of proteins replicating your DNA. It could help us tackle lots of problems. For example, this guy created bacteria that produce drugs like this. So it's not polluting, it's cheap, and it's kind of tomorrow's challenge. Right? And also because there's a technological boom. You know that there was this Moore's law about numbers of transistors in microchips. There's the same thing in biology. I mean, this is the cost of DNA sequencing. It used to be $1 million per base pair, and today it's 1,000 per genome or something. It's ridiculous. All right. But more specifically, what is synthetic biology? This is a definition. It's too long. I'm going straight to the next one. So it's the idea that you can engineer systems that do useful functions for you, right? So in the game had some problem. Okay, no, it's less than 15 minutes. I know how to count. Thank you. So BioBricks are standardized sequences of DNA that accomplish functions that we know. Okay, it's experience in lab. We know what they do. You can assemble these DNA sequences, and have them do useful functions. So, for example, this electronic system is equivalent to this biological system. This works. All right. But we can do more complex systems, like blinking bacteria or bacteria that creates drugs, for instance. Okay, so now you know from where it comes, why a game, why synthetic biology. Let's talk about perspectives of this game, because yeah, it was nice, you saw bacterium swimming around, so it 10 seconds, but you saw it. So what I want to do later on this, I want to add some tutorials, some more content, some more bricks, etc. A better simulator, because right now not all biological mechanics are included. I want to integrate it with academic courses. So, for example, students in biology could have a practical, like playing a game. I mean, for tomorrow, please do level 2 of Hero.Coli. Okay, that could be the deal. And finally, I want to study learning by video games and make some advance in synthetic biology. Okay, so let's see that point by point. Simulator, that's something I'm working on. So lots of variables. It is captured from Unity. Lots of parameters, biological parameters. Lots of biological mechanisms that you can check here, activate, and about research. So research in learning. There's a part that's about experimenting with students, so having them play and see how they understand what's going on, and also this online tracking using this open source, open data tool called Redwire. So this tool called RedMetrics, gives me some logs like this, and using some Python scripts, I can draw this kind of curve. So this here is a game session that were played on Hero.Coli, and here the duration in seconds. So I can see that 90% of people spend less than 1,000 seconds on it. Or I can see that this part of people just launch the game and didn't do anything. So this leads me and this helps me develop the game. Another curve, for instance, I see how many people picked up devices in the game. So clearly these people didn't do anything. I mean, they just started the game and you saw that I picked up something after 20 seconds, so they didn't do anything. Or maybe they went straight to the sandbox. I don't know. All right. And then this was a curve which showed that those are checkpoints, so the points in the game where the bacterium divides and that I can start again if I die. I see that lots of people didn't reach the last checkpoint. So I know that lots of people stopped here. So maybe there's something too difficult here. Or I see also that there is a bunch of people that stayed until the end. So I know that there is some interest in the game. Anyways, all right. There's also an online form with which I can study what people thought before the game and after playing the game. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it shows that maybe something is wrong with the game, even with more complex questions. So in this case, the good answer was the blue one. So in this case, it worked. But for even a simple question, the good answer was the red one. So you see, less people found out afterwards. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, but the final goal of this game would be, beyond learning about learning with video games, it would be to do some citizen science. Who of you has never heard about FOSDEM? Okay, lots of people. Awesome. So FOSDEM is a game with which some researchers in Stanford discovered, or Washington University, answered to a problem that was 10 years old. It was about 3D structure of proteins, and researchers didn't have enough time to find a solution. So they created a game in which you fold proteins, and they gave it on the internet free. And hundreds of thousands of people played it, and in some weeks they found the solution that researchers couldn't find in 10 years. Right? So this works. Now they are trying to do the same with RNA. So RNA folding, same stuff. And I would like to do the same with Hero.Coli. So me as a game developer, I implement a challenge about synthetic biology. Right? Then I give it to the players. Players find a solution by assembling BioBricks. And this solution is sent automatically to me via red matrix, right? So I can give this to the lab experimenters in my center, my research center. They can create the bacteria in test tubes, grow them, see how they behave, and maybe the bacteria will behave like in the game, so it confirms that the solution was correct, right? Or maybe the bacteria don't behave like the ones in the game, which disprove the solution, but show that the model we use in the game is wrong. So there is some theoretical work to do on it. Right? So either way, either we find a solution to a synthetic problem, either we improve the model we have of synthetic biology. So this is the kind of thing I want to create in the game. And that's all, because I wanted my demo at the beginning to be 5 minutes long, and it didn't happen. Thank you. Okay, questions? Maybe you can connect yours. Questions? Yes?
You have been using Unity.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you also said that you are releasing open source the game itself.
Yeah.
Is the use of Unity creating you any problem from the licensing side?
No.
No? Not at all?
Because you just take the C# code and assets, and the game runs, and you don't need to. Unity is good, but you can use Unity to make the game run anyways.
So there isn't any part of Unity that will be involved with the piece of code that you are releasing?
No.
So at the moment you are using the free license of Unity.
Yeah, MIT. Yeah, free license for Unity, yeah, because I don't sell it.
Yeah, because you don't sell it, you don't get money.
No. Another question? Yeah. So what should I do? Do I switch back to my presentation? No? I need to the demo? Or we can talk while I show what's going on in the game. Okay, so what was your question?
How much data are you collecting from your users?
I've gathered data about 900, more than 900 game sessions since May this year, in 2015. So that's quite a lot.
And what kind of data is in there?
So I can show you, because the internet works here. Metrics. Okay, so I go to Hero.Coli and maybe 132. Okay, So last data I gathered were, for instance, I know that this player started a game with this local player ID at this date, and then he selected menu, resumed the game, and then reached checkpoint 1, and then died at checkpoint 1. And, okay, and somebody changed language to English. This is the kind of data that I get. Sometimes it's more interesting, like you can see what people pick up and what they craft. I hope I will find something like this. Yeah, craft. Somebody crafted some things here. So they crafted something to move faster, something to glow red, something to glow all colors actually, because I see glow 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lots of things.
Basically every interaction.
Yeah. Somebody that followed the game, checkpoint by checkpoint, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I have questions.
Yeah.
What was the first constraint for you? Did you think, okay, this game mechanism is nice, what can I teach with it? Or did you think, I want to teach these things about biology, and what game mechanism can I use to teach it?
The game was designed not by me at the beginning. I came after in the project. It was designed by a game designer and master's 2 students in synthetic biology. So they started from what are interesting mechanics in synthetic biology, and then adapted it to a game. So they thought, what can you do? You can craft. What could you craft? What could you be? Oh, a hero that can craft itself or something, and then. So it comes from synthetic biology. I saw a question from here.
Given how many time is needed to develop such a game, do you think it is feasible to use this learning technique for a more wider variety of tasks?
I think it can be adapted to lots of fields, and it's not difficult to develop. I mean, it's costly. It's costly because you need a game designer, an artist, somebody who knows the field you want to teach. And a programmer. So at least 4 people. So that's the limiting factor. But it could be adapted to any field, I guess. Does it answer your question?
Yeah.
Yep.
Consider you this game like biohacker tool or not really?
Like a hacker tool?
Biohacker. Are you a biohacker? No?
Yeah, it could be because actually there's this part that I wanted to show you earlier, the sandbox, in which you can craft stuff, so you have access to a catalog of bricks. So in reality, I talked to you about the BioBricks Foundation. In the game there are like 20 bricks, in reality there are 4,000 of them. Not more, but you can do some things like I talked to you about the blinking bacterium, so let's do it. Okay, so it doesn't blink right now, don't worry, it's normal. It's because the fluorescence is visible only when there is blue light. Okay, so here you see the blinking bacterium. So the biohacking thing would be that you try out bricks and see what happens. Yeah, it could be a kind of designing tool, but gamified tool for design. I don't like this name. Yeah, it could be adapted. I mean, it's open source, so somebody could extract the simulator from the game and make a biohacker simulation. I don't know which one was first.
I'm with yours. In what extent were you involved in the development? So did you actually write the program I built?
Yeah, I was there from the start of the implementation. So it was 2 years ago. I was there at FOSDEM 2014 to prepare the first version of the game. So it's more than 2 years.
Because you're a PhD student in biology, and were you a software developer before, or how does it work?
Yeah, the thing is that the place I come from, where I studied, that JC and Morten also talked about, is the Centre for Research and Interdisciplinarity. So the keyword is interdisciplinarity. I was a game programmer before. I worked in game companies before, and then I worked as a research engineer in that center, and then I became a PhD student because it gave me access to more resources and more time to develop the game.
I understand, because otherwise it would take quite some time to learn all these techniques. For instance, if you know about science or a certain subject and you want to make a game, then you need to learn all the technology. So Yeah, it takes quite some time.
So I arrived from the game programming side, and I learned biology while doing it.
Practically, you learned it while gaming.
Sorry, that was. I didn't hear you.
So practically, you learned while gaming.
Okay. Yeah. Learning by doing. Yeah.
Has the data just collected by the game already been used by lab researchers?
Right now, no, because the only thing that you can craft in the game are well known. I mean, this splitting thing has been known for 15 years. The accelerating thing has been known also for years. So right now, there is nothing new on synthetic biology that was.
There's a question here.
How do you run this game on Linux?
I haven't tried, but I think that Unity can export to Linux, right? Yeah, it does. Okay. Yeah. But I haven't tried to export it on HTML5 or Linux. I haven't tried.
It doesn't run when I go to the page.
Yep.
Does it work on tablets?
No, not yet, but I want to make it. It's pretty simple, you could just touch and make it go around.
No,
So, if I have time, yes.
I can't find it.
Another question?